Thank you very much. A big hand, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get started with our very first presentation, which is on role of corporates and consultancies. This is going to be by Mr. S. Deen Dayal, a management guru who likes to make zeros to heroes and is radical in building people. Let's invite Mr. S. Deen Dayal on stage with a big round of applause, everybody. Come on.
Thanks to Resource Masters for having invited me. I don't know they invited trouble. Thanks to my fellow panelists. I'm a resource servant. I'm not a resource master. Okay. We have an outstanding country. And we have an outstanding slogan today, Make in India. We need to also deal with Make for India. And we had to also fight Made for India. I'm making three different statements. Make in India, Make for India, and fight Made for India. Because most of the things we buy are made for India and the revenue goes to countries outside India. Right from a small plastic to most of the things, the revenue goes outside India. And India is going to be the resource pool, resource talent. Form for collaboration. If the slides come, don't come, not to worry. So few thoughts I thought I should leave with you. Is HR meant for coaching or poaching? Listen to me. Is HR meant for coaching or poaching? Does HR buy people or build people? Does HR have the capability to underhire for overperformance? I'm making few controversial statements. Does HR have the capability to underhire for overperformance? And should HR look at capability or culpability? Am I raising few controversial thoughts in your mind? Should HR look for capability or culpability? And also look at, is HR really business partnering? Do we understand price minus or cost plus? If you have to be competitive, we have to be price minus. Whichever competition is producing a product, we have to be 1 cent lesser than them. And if we don't understand as a HR person, we are not going to business partner. We are going to do a certain collection job, not selection job. Am I making a point? Do we measure, my good friend was telling, we have 61% inefficiency in the overall organizational deliverables. So, do we measure per person productivity? And how is an HR person assessed in his hiring, in his recruitment, in his collaboration with a consultant or internal, external? What are we doing? Are we doing a post office job? Or are we really connecting to the business reality? So, how do you start introspecting it? And HR is one more important thing is, we have a tremendous network, tremendous associations, but we are all short-lived people in every organization. It is good, because can we leave permanent impacts in our semi-permanent roles? Can we leave permanent impacts in our semi-permanent roles? And we also talk about attrition, and what is the tacit knowledge loss we calculate? We calculate only recruitment cost. Do we calculate the tacit knowledge loss cost? And therefore, what do we do to enhance attrition? Sorry, enhance attrition? What we do to enhance retention? Attrition is going to be inevitable. Let us accept, because today's youth, I know I'm old and bald, I'm grey hat, but today's youth would not like to stay to managers. Today's youth are highly aspirational, nothing wrong about it. And are we prepared to deal with aspirationality of the people? If we are not prepared to deal with the aspirationality of the people, then whatever we do, we will be putting a lot of efforts which is going to be wasted. Therefore, in my recruitment strategy, sorry to repeat this here, I believe we should only recruit municipal school students. And I'm doing this. And they all become managers. And I would suggest talk to Thomson Reuters HR director. He is HR Director, Asia Pacific, Mr. Mahesh Ramalingam. He started as a blue-collar operator 15 years ago. And all his 240 classmates are vice presidents and general managers. And that is the power of Indian native intelligence. Please, that is the power of Indian native intelligence. And if we can start looking at that power of Indian, I'm not talking about one organization. Some of you are from Hyderabad, go and talk to Dr. Reddy's. 700 of them are municipal school students. At least 300 of them have become assistant manager quality. And why do I talk about only municipal school students? Because we all are good in English. They are all not good in English. They have a native voice. We have a commercial noise. Yes? So there's a tremendous Indian native talent because we as a country were exporting country. In the last 300 years, we have become an importing country. That's why Made for India is very powerful here. We have more Samsungs and LG electronics than our own product. So in this context, we have a tremendous opportunity. I'm glad Crew has brought in this process where how do we look at recruitment from a human point of view? Today we have a beautiful beauty parlors. Naukri, Monster, the resume is a beauty parlor. And depending on the money you have, if you pay 5,000 rupees, your beauty parloring is far better. If you pay 1,500 rupees, your beauty parloring is little better. But are we looking at the human inside that beauty parlor? So most of the resume, I would suggest to recruiters, consultants, everybody, when a resume comes, throw it in the dustbin. I'm sure resource masters are going to kill me. Look at the human in him. Look at what is that capability that human has. Today somebody posted, my experience suggests that there's a definitely crisis underneath. Let me explain what I mean. HR professionals in large number of cases are out of touch from ground. They are not business partnering. There's a lot of jargon and templatization. Okay. But the business sense and empathetic caring is missing. Somehow HR language has become a substitute for calling a spade a spade. The large number of associations or like organizations indicate craving for recognition. Unfortunately, recognitions of this nature makes one believe that great HR activity is happening, which is worse. Now, let us look at some of the Indian leaders. Well, I'm definitely happy, Sundar Pichai and Nadella, everybody is very happy. Look at Gautam Adani. He looks at a dentist and makes him a CEO of a power business. So what is he looking at? Is he looking at the qualification or is he looking at the human? Am I trying to reach you? Look at all the CEOs of Adani Group. They are not domain experts, but they are business experts. So when you are looking at any role, if you can look at that role from an entrepreneurial perspective, then you look at, if you look at from a very skilled domain role, then you are making that role very short term. And is he future fit? Is he current fit or future fit? And look at G.V. Prasad, Dr. Anji Reddy. I'm also going to talk to you about the business dynamics. Every business is, some of the businesses have disappeared. Why? It's because of cost, competitiveness, flexibility, productivity, automation, price minus I did speak about, high input cost, product quality, cost of finance. And look at labor management. We try and outsource, we try and get lease teams, we try and get apprentices, we get various combination of simple labor costs. But is labor cost an important determinant in the overall business? Labor cost is one aspect of it. The intelligent labor cost is something where we need to really look at. Okay. And country as a country, everybody is speaking about skill shortages and we are going to speak about India's export skills. But are we equipping people to do that? And what are we looking at? We are looking at ladders outside. And what are we looking at? Incidentally, I'm not a suited, booted person. I look at the intrinsic part of human being. But we look at the extrinsic part, the blue collar. We don't look at the internal capability, the emotional connect, the affability, every human being. I work with handicapped people. Every human being wants to showcase that he wants to achieve something. And are we tapping that? And what do we have? We have intel inside, mental outside. Technology is very important, but technology has to be a slave. And when we are looking at recruitment from a collaborative perspective, you're going to use technology. I'm sure my successive speakers are going to speak about it. If you do not connect the human, it is going to be a big challenge. Alternately, what will it lead to? The poaching game. Do you understand this? This is not my ad. This is one of the leading organizations' ad. So, therefore, some thoughts for you to look at, and for my next panelist also: buy or build, poach or coach. Why talent management? If you are hiring right, I'm sure Mr. Omkar was speaking about it. If you are hiring right, then why do we talk about talent management? We have a lot of jargons. Okay, high tech or high touch. Beauty parloring I did speak about. And one more important thing is there's no ready fit talent. Please remember there's no ready fit. The way technology is emerging, the way excellence is happening, there's no ready fit talent. Therefore, on a continuous learning process, we need to look at, when you're looking at a learnable candidate, not a domain knowledge candidate. Most of the time, the mistake we are making is, are we looking at a learnable candidate? That's where you need a definite intuitive skills to look at learnable candidates. Whatever instruments you may administer, if the learnability is not looked at, you're going to have a big challenge. So I'm going to share my small experience. These are 10th standard, 12th standard. We are doing it all over India. We are doing it in Malaysia. We're doing it in Indonesia. We only pick for attitude. And in a 10th standard, 12th standard student, what skill we can look at? But they are part of the interview committee. They are part of a group discussion. They are part of a peer evaluation at that age in that language, be it Hindi, Kannada, Telugu. We do it in multiple languages. Okay. And within 3-4 years, they become operators, they become leaders. And after 4-5 years, they are poachable, within or outside. And am I talking through my hat? Look at them, they are global. They are in different parts of India, different parts of the world. And this is the power of our Indian talent. I was speaking about one of them, Mahesh, because he is in HR, I spoke about him. There are people in supply chain, there are people in IT. Okay. This is Dr. Reddy's example. And I'm also going to talk about, because everybody speaks about Sundar Pichai, and we have a gentleman called Shanmugappa. You see Mr. Abdul Kalam, and he is calling him as his role model. He is a porter in he was a porter in Bangalore railway station. The brew coffee, what you drink, comes from his factory. One of the outstanding HR policies, outstanding recruitment, if you want, you can learn from him. So, when you are looking at a collaborative process, we need to look at, that is J.R.D. Tata. We worked in Titan watches. Titan recruited only 10 plus 2 people, and 500 of those 10 plus 2 people are in US, in UK, and in various, he was asking how people are saying in GE. So, what am I trying to speak to you in this crew, resource master group? Are we looking at talent, or are we looking at domain skills? Are we looking at future fit, or are we looking at my survival for the next 1 year? And are our recruitment processes linked to business partnering? Are our recruitment process linked to certain short-term KRAs of delivering? Oh, sorry. I think I'm going back. So my appeal to all of you is, as we are going to discuss, you can throw questions, look at the human inside, and look at the intrinsic capabilities and not the extrinsic soft skill training, which we look at, the English speaking skill, which we look at the native talent. It is very, very powerful. We can always give them the commercial noise called English, but leverage the native voice. Thank you.